this is like the 10th time I'm recording this. Let's talk about how you can get from your lowest point of life to your peak. How is that as bad as you think it is? So we all know the feeling when someone breaks up with us, when we get laid off at work, when we get rejected at a job interview, if we try to play the lottery and we don't win. These are all moments in life when we think, what am I doing with my life? This happened recently when I had 3 videos on YouTube that had a very low view count, and I was like asking myself, should I even continue making YouTube videos? And that's what a lot of people get faced with. And this is where personal growth happens and where you will see, are you part of the 90% that fail or are you a part of the 10% that succeed? Because this is when you are willing to change. If you see something doesn't work, I need to do something different, and that's what happened to me last night. I was like, okay, the views are not coming, so I need to do something different. I need to edit something different. I need to change my thumbnail. After doing all the research on algorithms and all that kind of stuff, I understood what was wrong or is going wrong with my YouTube videos, because it's not that those videos are bad, but the topic was slightly off of the rest of my videos, so people that follow my account are not as interested in those videos. And the same thing applies to your life and your situation, that just because you didn't receive a certain situation right now, this is just the start of something new, and that's great, especially because we are wired the way that we want instant gratification, right? That's why so many people are tied to their phones, because we can instantly watch so many funny memes, but it's not long-term at all. And the same thing happens if we would win the lottery. We would feel happy, but it wouldn't last long. And that is when the learning gap happens. So the learning gap means that if you get rich overnight because, let's say, you won the lottery or you published a song that went viral on TikTok, the problem is that even though it's nice in that moment, usually won't last long. The reality of it, of getting rich overnight, you don't know how to manage your money, you don't know which banks have the highest interest and all that stuff. You need to do a lot of research in order to know what you do with that large amount of money. And the same thing applies to any kind of skill, like even on YouTube. If you have a video that goes viral, that is again the learning gap, because if we develop a certain YouTube style over a longer period of time where we get better at doing our thumbnails, our titles, our topic, audio quality, if we get viral overnight, we don't have the time to adjust to that new lifestyle, that new account, that whatever it is, because everything that we do, we need time. If you're at a very low point of life, just remember and remind yourself that Beyonce, Oprah, all these successful people in the TV industry, in the music industry, any kind of industry, they were able to get to that point because they were pushing through all these kind of rejections and setbacks, because they kept thinking to themselves, I have this vision, and this vision is bigger than what the people around me are talking about. This vision is bigger than any kind of external source could tell me, just because that specific person is not seeing your potential at your job. Someone in your family, someone of your friends, doesn't mean that you are not capable of pulling something off. And that's very important, that you are your biggest supporter here, because in the beginning you only have yourself until you build a certain community of other people that see the same vision, and until you build that community on YouTube or whatever kind of thing that you want to achieve. If you put that pressure on you and be like, okay, I'm moving out even though I don't make that amount of money yet, I have that pressure on me that's going to help me to achieve paying that rent in that expensive apartment, and that way you achieve way more growth than getting that giveaway in the first place. And that's a very different way to think about things. The downside is that nothing is guaranteed. Like, you could put the most pressure on you and not achieving certain things. Whole life is just a process, but you only know if you tried it. If you never try something, you will never know. And that is something, like, I think no one wants to live in regret and being like, what if I did this at that time? Just do it and get into this mentality of just doing things. This is just the beginning and the first step before the growth happens. Another thing, talking about that, so there are always situations in our life when we feel like, I'm sad this happened, But sometimes later on, something happens in our life and we're like, okay, this was only happening because the thing before that we wished for didn't happen. Because I'm going back to school in September, in order to get money going back to school from the government, I'm not allowed to have overall, let's say like 10K. And let's say I would have succeeded or gone viral on YouTube, then I would have probably been able to get monetized and make money. They wouldn't be able to give me that money because they're like, you have too much money, you're not going to get free money from us. The only problem about this is that in the moment of rejection, you're not going to feel grateful for it because you just imagine a different outcome. But this is just a gentle reminder that just because it's not happening for you right now might just be a sign from the universe that something even better is going to happen later on that you would not reach if you would have succeeded in your ideal dream in the first place. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!